You walk into your local grocery store feeling completely in control. You've got your list, your budget, your good intentions. The soft lighting feels welcoming. The wide aisles seem logical. The whole place radiates that familiar, comforting vibe that makes you feel right at home. Here's what you don't realize. You just entered a psychological battlefield and you're completely unarmed. Every single thing you're experiencing right now, that sense of comfort, that feeling of making rational choices, even the way you're unconsciously moving through the space, has been engineered by teams of retail psychologists who've spent decades perfecting the art of extracting money from your wallet. MIT researchers tracked thousands of shoppers and found something disturbing. People who walked in planning to spend $50. They averaged $61.50 every single trip. That's not a coincidence. That's not you being a little indulgent. That's a system working exactly as designed. Paco Underhill's research firm Envirocell has literally followed 900,000 shoppers across 35 countries, tracking their eye movements, measuring their walking patterns, timing their decision-making processes, all to answer one question: how do we make people buy more stuff? Your grocery store isn't just selling food. It's selling the illusion of choice while systematically dismantling your financial defenses. That layout that feels so natural, those product placements that seem so convenient, the music, the lighting, even the width of the shopping carts, none of it is random. What feels like your personal shopping preferences is actually the end result of millions of dollars spent on psychological warfare against consumers just like you. But before we reveal the specific tricks they're using on you every time you shop, let's understand just how sophisticated this system really is. The grocery industry didn't stumble into these manipulation techniques by accident. They've invested billions of dollars into understanding exactly how your brain works when you shop. Kroger's 84.51 degrees division, yes, that's a real department, analyzes 2.3 billion customer transactions every single year. They've got teams of behavioral economists, environmental psychologists, and data scientists whose entire job is figuring out how to make you spend more money. This isn't some mom and pop operation guessing what might work. This is industrial-scale psychological manipulation. Major chains now test store layouts in virtual reality labs before they build them. They use heat mapping technology to track where your eyes go, how long you linger in each section, which displays make you stop walking. Bloomberg reporters discovered that grocery stores are literally studying your facial expressions while you shop to understand which products trigger buying impulses. The numbers are staggering. The retail psychology consulting industry pulls in $12 billion annually. $12 billion. Just from companies paying experts to figure out how to manipulate shoppers more effectively. And here's the kicker. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. Former Trader Joe's VP Doug Roush openly admitted in interviews that stores deliberately create treasure hunt experiences. They move products around, create artificial scarcity, design confusing layouts, all specifically to increase your dwell time and pump up your spending. Former Whole Foods executives have gone on record describing the psychological techniques they deployed to make customers feel sophisticated and health conscious while spending 30% more than they planned. This isn't conspiracy theory stuff. This is documented corporate strategy, backed by peer-reviewed research, implemented by teams of highly paid professionals whose only job is separating you from your money. Now that you understand the scope of what you're up against, let's walk through exactly how they manipulate you from the moment you step through those automatic doors. The manipulation starts before you even grab a cart. Ever wonder why every grocery store puts the produce section right at the entrance? They'll tell you it's about freshness, but consumer psychology professor Kit Yarrow's research revealed the real reason. Colorful fruits and vegetables trigger what psychologists call healthy choice priming. Your brain sees all those vibrant apples and leafy greens and thinks, look at me making responsible decisions. This creates a psychological permission slip to indulge later. You've already proven you're health conscious, so that bag of cookies later doesn't feel like a betrayal. It feels like balance. But wait, there's more psychological trickery happening. Notice how those produce displays are absolutely glowing? Whole Foods doesn't just throw some regular light bulbs over their tomatoes. Yarrow documented how they use specific color temperatures, usually around 3000 K, that make the food appear more vibrant and appealing than it actually is. You're literally seeing an enhanced version of reality. Now grab a cart. That innocent metal basket? It's been weaponized against you. Shopping cart sizes have increased 35% since 1975, and it's not because we're buying more groceries. Walmart's internal studies show that customers with larger carts spent 19% more money. Your brain sees that big empty space and subconsciously feels obligated to fill it. Those wide, welcoming aisles near the entrance aren't about convenience either. Retail designers call this the decompression zone, a deliberately spacious area designed to slow you down and shift you from hurried shopper mode into relaxed browsing mode. The flower displays, the sample stations, the gentle curves that guide your cart, they're all part of a carefully choreographed dance to get you spending more time and money. Even the direction they route your cart traffic maximizes exposure to high-margin items. Nothing here is accidental, but the entrance is just the beginning. The real manipulation happens as you navigate the store. The moment you start navigating those aisles, you're entering what retail designers literally call the maze. And yes, they actually use that term in their internal documents. You need milk? Of course, it's in the very back corner. Bread? Also in the back. Eggs? Back corner again. The Food Marketing Institute's research proved that customers who walk past more aisles spend 23% more per trip. So they've deliberately placed the most essential items as far away as possible, forcing you to run a gauntlet of temptation just to grab the basics. But here's where it gets diabolical. Those aisles aren't straight lines. They're designed with subtle curves and strategic dead ends that slow your walking speed and increase what they call dwell time. Target's leaked 2012 internal documents revealed their racetrack layout strategy. Create a winding path that exposes shoppers to the maximum number of products while making them feel like they're naturally browsing. Look around right now at eye level. See all those name brand cereals and snacks? Those are the highest margin products in the store. The cheaper alternatives? They're crammed down at ankle height or stretched up toward the ceiling where you'll never notice them. Retail psychologists call this the golden zone. Everything between your hip and shoulder height gets premium real estate pricing. And those end cap displays at the end of every aisle? They generate 30% higher sales despite usually containing exactly the same products available in the regular aisles, just marked up and positioned where you can't miss them. Former Walmart executive Paco Underhill's research showed that every additional aisle a customer walks down increases their total spending by an average of $3.40. So they've turned your grocery run into a psychological obstacle course designed to extract maximum cash. The layout is just the foundation. Now let's examine the sensory manipulation techniques they layer on top. You think the layout manipulation is sophisticated? That's nothing compared to what they're doing to your actual senses right now. That amazing bakery smell wafting through the store? There's no baker in the back kneading dough at 3 in the afternoon. Scentair, the company that provides artificial scenting to 30% of Fortune 500 retailers, is pumping manufactured bakery fragrance directly through the HVAC system. Smithsonian researchers found that vanilla scenting alone increased customer spending by 11%. 11%. Just from fake smell. Look up at those lights. See how the prepared food sections have that warm, golden glow that makes everything look delicious? Then notice how the produce section blazes with bright white light that makes those vegetables look impossibly fresh? That's not an accident. Lighting designers spent millions calibrating specific color temperatures to trigger hunger responses in your brain. Now listen to the music. During peak shopping hours, they're playing slower tempo tracks, usually around 72 beats per minute, specifically designed to slow your walking pace and keep you browsing longer. When they want to clear out crowds during closing, they crank up faster music to make you feel hurried and uncomfortable. Even your physical movements are being manipulated. Product placement experts studied thousands of hours of biomechanical data to identify what they call grab zones, the exact locations where your hand naturally wants to reach. The most expensive items sit perfectly positioned in your natural reach pattern, while cheaper alternatives get banished to spots that require awkward bending or stretching. Your brain is being systematically hijacked through every sense you have. You're not making shopping decisions. You're responding to calculated sensory triggers designed by teams of psychologists who've mapped out exactly how to exploit your neurological responses. But manipulating your senses in the store is just the beginning. Now they're using technology to track and manipulate your behavior in real time. That loyalty card in your wallet, it's not giving you discounts. It's building a psychological dossier on you that would make the NSA jealous. Every swipe creates detailed behavioral profiles that grocery chains sell to data brokers for millions. Target's analytics division famously became so accurate at predicting pregnancies that they started sending maternity coupons to a teenage girl before her own father knew she was expecting. When he stormed into the store demanding answers, Target knew his daughter better than he did. But loyalty cards are just the beginning of your digital stalking nightmare. Your smartphone is broadcasting your location constantly, and grocery apps are listening. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon discovered that major chains send push notifications specifically when you're near competitor stores, trying to lure you away with personalized deals. Miss your weekly Target run? They'll hit you with increasingly desperate promotions until you cave. Walk into a Kroger or Whole Foods today and facial recognition cameras are scanning your face, cross-referencing it against purchase histories to identify high-value customers. Staff gets instant alerts. Big spender in aisle 7. Provide premium service. You think that helpful employee just happened to find you? They were dispatched by an algorithm. Amazon Go stores represent the terrifying future of grocery surveillance. Sensors track every single product you touch, even if you don't buy it. That hesitation over the expensive olive oil? That gets fed into psychological models that predict exactly when you're most vulnerable to premium product marketing. These systems analyze your purchase patterns to identify major life events. Recent job loss detected through cheaper brand switching? Get ready for comfort food promotions. Buying more frozen meals lately? They'll flood you with convenience product ads during your most exhausted moments. You're not shopping anymore. You're being hunted by artificial intelligence systems that know your weaknesses better than you do, and they're using that knowledge to extract maximum profit from your most vulnerable moments. So how do you fight back against this sophisticated manipulation system? Now that you understand exactly how sophisticated this manipulation system really is, let's talk about how you fight back. Your most powerful weapon? A detailed shopping list with specific quantities. Cornell University researchers tracked shoppers and found something remarkable. People who used detailed lists with exact amounts spent 23% less money and bought 18% fewer impulse items. That's not a small difference. That's the manipulation system failing completely. But here's the crucial part. You have to stick to that list religiously. Write down 2 boxes pasta, not just pasta. When you see that third box calling your name from the end cap display, your list becomes your shield against their psychological warfare. Shop the perimeter first. Hit produce, dairy, meat, the sections where they make the lowest profit margins. And avoid those inner aisles except for your planned purchases. Those maze-like corridors are where the manipulation is most intense, so limit your exposure. Use a basket instead of a cart whenever possible. Remember, larger carts psychologically pressure you to fill them up. Consumer Reports found that basket users spent 19% less per trip than cart users buying the same items. Never shop hungry. When you're hungry, your brain becomes significantly more susceptible to all those sensory manipulation techniques. That artificial bakery smell becomes irresistible. Those eye-level snacks become impossible to ignore. Here's a reality check about those sale prices screaming at you from every display. Consumer Reports investigated major chains and found that 67% of advertised sale prices were actually regular prices with artificially inflated original tags. That 50% off deal? The original price was probably made up last week. Product placement means nothing about value. Just because something is at eye level or featured on an end cap doesn't mean it's a good deal. It means they're making the highest profit on it. You now have the knowledge to walk through that psychological battlefield with your financial defenses intact. Here's the uncomfortable truth that grocery executives would rather you never figure out. This isn't some rogue industry gone bad. Every major grocery chain uses these manipulation techniques because they work flawlessly. The psychological warfare isn't a bug in the system. It's the entire business model. Kroger, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, they're all running the same playbook because the National Retail Federation reports that retail psychology investments have increased 340% over the past decade. 340%. They're not spending billions on manipulation research as a side project. This is their core strategy. These psychological tactics are perfectly legal and becoming more sophisticated every year. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are making the manipulation more precise, more personalized, more effective. While you're reading this, grocery chains are beta testing augmented reality apps that will identify your emotional state through your smartphone camera and adjust product recommendations in real time. The average American family loses over $1,800 annually to grocery store manipulation techniques. $1,800 that could be going toward debt payments, savings, your kids' education. Instead, it's padding corporate profit margins through engineered impulse purchases you never intended to make. European studies tracked families who learned these manipulation techniques versus control groups who shop normally. The informed family spent 15 to 20% less on groceries annually. Same food, same nutrition, same satisfaction, just without falling victim to psychological manipulation. Awareness is your only defense. Once you see the system, you can choose to opt out. Every time you walk past those eye-level displays to grab the cheaper option on the bottom shelf, you're taking back control. Every time you stick to your detailed list despite those manufactured scarcity displays, you're beating their algorithm. The choice is now yours. Remain unconscious and keep funding their manipulation research with your overspending, or shop with your eyes wide open and keep that money where it belongs, in your bank account.